What's going on, guys? KayGee here from the Football Capital. A-League review. The finals are here. Borche's joining me. Borche.
I am back. I am back again, bro. I'm back again.
He's back. And not only is he back, mate, his team caused a little bit of damage towards the end of this run for this A-League season.
Hey, if we had to win one game, I think it was that one. And it's funny because I think Perth won four games this season and 2 were against Melbourne City. And I think the other one was against Melbourne Victory, I think, off the top of my head. Only 4 games.
Early in the season, those ones?
Yeah, it was early in the season. But it caused a little bit of discomfort it shook it up a little bit towards the end of the season. And look, Kev, we're at the end. It just feels like the season ended so quick. You know, even though it kind of lagged a little bit to an extent with all the COVID and games being backed up and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, it all came to an end. I remember the first round, we went to the derby, and now we're sitting here. The regular season is over. But Kev, bro, is a lot of people that sit back and don't watch the A-League and criticize it. Mm-hmm. They made a big mistake, because this season, I don't know about you, but I found it very entertaining in terms of the football. You can talk about the quality all you want. It is what it is at the end of the day. But I think the quality did pick up. The quality of the goals that we've seen this season,
absolutely
unbelievable. Scorpion kicks
from young players too. Like, you know. And
we always complained about, and I've always said it on the pods before, that we always give these 45-year-old marquees to come in. And this season, especially with my team, and maybe unfortunate, we had to put the reserves in. But now they've stepped up. Even some of the other teams, some of the younger players, the youth players have come in. And like you said, with some of the cracker goals they've scored, and the number of goals they've scored as well.
Yeah, and credit to them. Like, they've got time under their belt now.
Yeah.
I think that's massive, especially for the A-League. It'll just help with next season, you know, having a lot more youth to choose from. I know that some of the other clubs away from Perth Glory are looking at you guys and trying to pick up some of your players. So it's interesting how that works out, right? It's the last
thing we need now, it's the last thing we need.
I know, lose more players, right?
And look, we've seen it with Brisbane as well this season, that at the start of the year, or the start of the season, we said that they lost some of their, it was a Winston Halls, they lost to Western United. We're like, that's another young player that they lost. But then a few more came through, and we saw this season, hopefully they built from that. Maybe that was the whole purpose of them trying to stick with a young squad. We saw Jamie Youngley leave them as well, right?
Yeah, he went to
and
Western,
you're like, okay. I mean, he was look, probably one of the best keepers of the season.
Absolutely.
But maybe Brisbane is going down the road of the youth and more of a younger squad. And it was good to see. And to be honest, if I'm going to say a disappointment of the season, maybe the crowd numbers. Maybe the crowd numbers could have been a lot better, and a lot of people.
There's a lot of contributing factors, but
100%. But then there's a lot of people that sit back at home and watch the games, and then decide to take a picture of the TV and say, "Look at the crowds."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Not mentioning any names out here, but there's a lot of people that do that. You see on Twitter, "Oh, look at the crowds," but where are you?
Yeah, you could also
make an effort too. Do you know what I'm saying? But
absolutely.
Overall, it was definitely an exciting season. A lot of the teams that we expected to make it didn't make it. Both Sydney teams, we had them in the top 4. Mate. Sydney and the FC and the Wanderers.
Well, now Central Coast are representing all of New South Wales, right? So, congratulations to Central Coast and what they've done with Nick Montgomery. And, you know, there was always going to be question marks after Stajic left. But credit to Nick Montgomery. And the most important thing he said in the most recent press conference, I remember, was that he doesn't call his squad young players. He calls them A-League players, right? Because he's had them from youth.
A-League men.
A-League men's. But he doesn't look at them as young players. He looks at them as A-League men's players, and he's happy with the squad that he's got. He doesn't need to go and spend money or bring in transfers. He's happy with what he's got and how the boys are performing. Congratulations to them.
But in saying that as well, Kev, like, I mean, the Mariners, it's always been like a culture to bringing the young players through even from when they started, there's always one or two younger players, and we're seeing this season as well. Kyle, the younger brother, coming in and he's scoring goals week in, week out, coming off the bench.
The other one's out there getting red cards.
He's getting a red card. He's doing madness over there. Do you know what I mean? But like, and it's good to see they're stepping it up.
And young, like really young.
We're seeing what was it from Adelaide United?
Adelaide, the 16-year-old.
16-year-old, yeah. Killing it as well. He has a few cameos, a few crackers. No, it's definitely been good to see this season, bro. It has. It's been definitely a good A-League. Hopefully, I know with the Paramount staff, a lot of people weren't too happy, but look, that's only going to
learning for them.
Yeah, that's right, and it's only going to get better, hopefully. But yeah, man,
Oh, look, it goes without saying, we're at the point now, and we will go through some of the results, but we do have to say congratulations to Melbourne City for taking out the premiership.
Yeah.
All in all, probably fair to say they were the most consistent, whilst consistency wasn't huge this season. There was a stat today I saw somewhere where from second position and down, no team had won more than half their games. So that just told you how close the league actually really was after all the matches that were played. And credit to the A-League for making it work with everything that was happening through COVID and availability and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, yes, it was very messy. It probably helped. It probably didn't help having so many games here and there, whatever, with crowd numbers and the uncertainty of games going ahead.
That's right, yeah.
But you know what? We got through the season and Melbourne City came out on top.
Yeah. Look, yeah,
not a surprise, right?
I think we all kind of picked them, right? We all kind of picked them, but I don't think we picked it to go down to the wire.
Yeah.
Like it did. I mean, if we touch on the games, right? Last week, midweek, Melbourne City or Perth, Melbourne City, and you expect Melbourne City to almost clinch it there. The Premier's play.
The writing's on the wall.
The writing was on the wall. If you look at the results the last couple of weeks for us, it was, there was a few 6-1, 6-0s, 4-0s. It wasn't looking good.
You gained some confidence against the Wanderers, though.
The 1-1 draw, yeah. But again, we can. Look, Bruno Fornaroli comes in and scores somehow. That a nice little bender, and like we're missing someone like maybe a clinical finisher like him throughout the season, or also. Daniel Sturridge, Andy Keogh played his last game for us against the Wanderers there.
And a great stalwart for the club and for the A-League as well.
I think he's our top goal scorer in the A-League, Andy Keogh. If you want to add in, in terms of the club, goal scorers at the club, obviously Bobby Despotovsky, Damien Murray, who their kind of goals carried on from the NSL into the A-League. But in terms of just the A-League, he's a top goal scorer. I think Shane Smeltzer might be up there as well for us, or in the league as well.
He played for half
the league, So, but look, it was a great result. I mean, Callum Timmins getting the. I think he got a double. He got a double in this game too. But Bert Gilroy, I think for us has been an outstanding player. I mean, he's played in a few different positions as well this season.
He actually ended last season well. I remember he came
last season.
After the Wanderers a couple of times. But credit to him, he's taking his opportunities and
it's good to see. Hopefully the younger players learn from this season. Maybe next season, if Zakovic stays on, I'm not too sure what's happening there with the managerial role. Obviously, he was a consultant. We know consultant how it is being out with our club. But
I think because he was coaching the youth.
He was coaching that's right. Yeah. So if he stays on, I think he gets in a bit more experienced players, and maybe Perth next season can make that push for the top 6.
Look, for me, I think when we did the preview show at the start of the season, I had Perth in there.
I had it just about.
We had that like top 6 field, but a lot of injuries. Like I hardly saw some.
Remember the COVID when after the first round we played the next 9 away.
Yeah, so
that didn't help. Sturridge can't do the 4-hour flights. That's another thing. So
couldn't find a hairdresser.
Still looking for one. But
the whole aura on him dropped very quickly. Like the whole
it's disappointing
hype around him and all that kind of stuff. But as the tables started to form. You saw Wellington pick up points. They picked up points against the Wanderers. And they played each other twice in a matter of weeks, where Wellington got on top both times, pretty much knocked out Western Sydney Wanderers. And then that result actually then knocks out Sydney FC from finals, which was the only blessing that came out of that whole situation with the Wanderers. Wanderers, we tipped them top 4. Like, it was the top Sydney teams and Melbourne teams
both there. Yeah,
so. Very, like, I think out of everyone, even with Perth coming last, that was not predicted, but we didn't predict them as high as the Wanderers before the season. Yeah. And we all know shambles at the Wanderers. CEO's now gone. Mark Ruden's
sacked the manager halfway through the season as well. So
players are now going to start coming in, and some are going to be on their way out. So not a good finish for the Wanderers. But Wellington, held on. They kept their 5th spot or whatever it was, and look, they almost caused the upset last night against Melbourne City. They almost did.
When you look, they went down to in the third. 2-0, but the first goal in the 3rd minute, own goal.
Very early.
And then another goal in the 10th minute. And you thought they're gonna run riot, but it wasn't to be. They got back into the game.
The halftime talk.
Wellington, the halftime talk. It's all about that halftime talk. Ufuk Tale, mate. He's giving some inspirational words there. And look, they came out. They got that goal. There was still time to get one back, but look, is it Paddy Kisnoble?
Yeah, Paddy Kisnoble.
What he's done at that club, and just the whole Melbourne City and the whole City group, the way they're organised, the way everything's put to plan. You can see it. Is in the women's in the W League or the women's
A-League women's.
A-League women's. They're doing good as well. And then you look at just in general the City group, the teams. Manchester City is on the verge of clinching their league as well. The New York Cities and all that, or just the whole franchise. I think
it's just
the structure that's put into place to succeed.
It's amazing how they do it so collectively. Like, it's not just one of them doing well.
Yeah, and when you have the same kind of philosophy through the youth, the women's, and the males, and not just in that one league, in kind of all over the world. Obviously, you have to adjust to different leagues and all that sort of stuff, but they do that well. They get the right people, in charge, and they get the right players. They recruit well, and obviously the pay packets and all that to bring them in might be a bit better, but still, you got to perform. And the A-League, like we're talking about, we expected it, like a certain teams to make it. Like you said, half the A-League, besides Melbourne City, no one won more than half their games.
Yeah.
And how many times did we see Wellington didn't win a game in like how long, and then beat Western United when Western United needed to win?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like just games like that. Like Melbourne City need to win the league. Perth Glory dead last wooden spooners.
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is. It was.
Wanderers can't win a game in the derby. Get the victory. Get the result. And it's just one of them as well.
And like we've touched on MacArthur for a while. Yo team win one lose one. Win one lose one.
Yeah,
they miss out. They miss
just
out
as well. I think Wellington 6th. And they came 7th. I think that's
Sorry, MacArthur came 7th.
MacArthur came 7th. Yeah.
And probably the quiet achievers along the way with all their they tend to perform in the last 5-10 minutes. Adelaide, like. Not
under the radar.
Spoken about Adelaide.
Under the radar. Rob on the drums over there.
Yeah, Robbie over there.
Robbie on the drums has done well, mate. He's got the boys over the line.
But you just sort of like when we were talking in the run through, it was always what are Western United City going to do? Victory's coming. Victory even were a bit shaky for a little bit.
Yeah, they're doing well. Then kind of had that little bit of a drop off, and then
but now they're undefeated in 5. So
and the big result for them too. But just if we keep on touching on just Adelaide quickly.
Yeah,
I mean. There were how many games did they go? Last 5 minutes, last 10, in the 90th minute, bang, two goals, get the win, get the draw.
Do not walk out of the stadium.
Do not walk
Coopers.
out. Don't be like Real Madrid fans. Don't be like Real Madrid fans.
But credit to them, man. Like you just got to have that passion, that desire, and you got to see the game through. And I think one thing that they probably did well after their slow start, because they had a slow start, right? After their slow start, they actually went and got a few players here and there, fixed some of their problem areas. Their overseas player, Hero, like he came good for them. And collectively as a unit, they finished strong. But yeah, really like quiet, not much noise. Like, and you know what? You look at them and you're like, these guys can win the league, really.
Yeah, and like you look at the points. I mean, they finished on 43. Western United 45. So that's not even a big difference. And then Melbourne victory on that 48. Melbourne City in 49. So like 6 points between them and Melbourne City. And all right, their goal difference is not the best, +7 to some of the rest, but +10 Western United. So They were literally one win, and maybe that game against Wellington where they conceded 5. If they did a bit better in that game or won that game,
you just never know.
They go into third. But Adelaide. I think is a bit of a surprise packet for me this season.
Well, they pretty much ended Western United's run for the title. Although they were probably the outsiders amongst the three.
Yeah.
They ended it with a 2-1 win, obviously at home. So if they're capable of beating a Western United team who is fighting for the title in the last match, really you look at this competition and you think, City could win it. Victory could win it. United can win it because they've been so strong defensively this year. Adelaide putting on a show. Central Coast coming home strong. And then you've got Wellington Phoenix who just never gave up. I think this is probably going to be one of the most exciting final series for a long time.
Yeah. I can't wait for it this week, and it all kicks off again. Look, Western United, they're going to be... I think they're going to be ones to watch as well. I don't know why Aloysius somehow he's got him playing like players like Winston Hawes. Like you can just see him stepping up in the finals and being the main man that takes him over the line.
Even Jamie Young in goals.
Young in goals.
Hard to beat.
If it goes to penalties,
yeah, mate,
we know who's taking it. Do you know what I mean? We know who's winning the game. Put your money down now.
Because I think it's Western versus Wellington. I think
Western versus Adelaide and so Lockie and Robbie.
Hey,
get him on the couch.
Bit of a clash.
Get him on the couch.
And just shout out to Lockie, who's been doing some amazing stuff on the Central Coast Mariners page
socials,
on game days. So
check Lockie out, Coast Watch Football.
Absolutely.
Does all the watch along, some great A-League content, if not the best A-League content in my opinion. But go check his stuff out. That's why he's not here anymore. We can't afford him.
We can't get him on the show.
We can't afford him anymore, man. This is what happens.
He's hit the big time. But no, honestly, he's a hard worker. He knows the A-League inside out. Yeah. So credit to him. He's done an amazing job in doing that coverage, because really he's ridden the wave for Central Coast more than anybody.
Yeah.
Obviously being a Mariners fan, but also throughout all the content that he provides and everything just that he knows about the club, because he was doing the post-match interviews and things like that. Glad to see, Central Coast, they finished the season so strong.
Yeah, I think we're backing them now.
Underneath the Wanderers jersey, there's a blue and yellow or yellow and blue.
The wife goes for the Mariners, so I got to maybe back them a little bit through.
But how good do they look now? Like, really, you could call them title contenders?
Yeah, I think you can, because they just find a way. Before they were just finding a way to get the results. When they went through that drop where they were conceding at the last minute, I think they fixed that up. They've gone in and go, listen, this is what we need to do. Let's sort our defensive structure towards the last couple of minutes.
Yep.
Because we know we can get the goals. Now it's not so much of clinching it. It's killing the game off.
Yeah.
And this is what we've seen the last couple of games. They've been so ruthless up front. The cum dog.
Yeah, I was going to say, is Cummings the reason?
Mate, did you see his goal? Mate. Did you see the way he got it out of his feet, cut on his left, and just pinged it to the back stick?
He's not a superstar name. Like, you don't have to go and get marquee status for him.
No,
but look at what he can do.
That's right. He can get you goals, win you games. And that's why you bring these players in. You know what I mean? If you're not, like we're seeing, obviously some marquees, let's not mention them, Haircuts FC, they come in and they don't perform, or they don't even see them, let alone perform. They're not even here. But he's come in, and I think he's given them a bit of a boost.
Yeah.
Alongside some of the games off. To kill the games off.
Yeah.
Like before, it's like, all right, they're getting the result.
Arena's solid, right?
Yeah.
But having Cummings there with him just changes the game for them, like altogether. It's just a different. it's a different way to attack the game.
Yeah.
Almost. But congratulations to Central Coast for making it as well, because for a while there it was Central Coast, Newcastle, Wanderers, and then obviously Newcastle and the Wanderers
and they
dropped off.
They from hoping other teams get the result, they made it themselves to be in their hands,
in their control.
In their control, and
absolutely
they pushed on the last couple of weeks, got over the line, and
that's where we end up, right? Like with a really solid final series. You wouldn't say all the teams are in form. Yeah. Some teams are in better form than others. Obviously, probably right now, Central Coast is in the best form. But it gives us a final series where anybody can beat anybody, and that's the most exciting thing for me. Yeah. Do we want to do a few predictions?
Before we go on to the predictions, quick shout out to Newcastle Jets. Because I think...
I want to hear this one.
Nah, because I think I picked them wooden spooners.
Before the season started.
Before the season started, I go, look, so many players that they got rid of didn't look like they recruited well, and you were just wondering what angle were they going to...
Where's it all going to come from?
That's
How are they
right.
going to piece it together?
But we're seeing after the first couple of games, they started getting the results, and they were a team that was saying, you know what, look out, because they're going to push for these. If not, they were up there top 4, third, fourth.
They kept battling up for a while.
Up and down. Then I think
is Pena the reason? Because he really changed that Newcastle side, in my opinion. Like if you look at all the A-League 11s that everyone's putting together, majority of them.
I think a lot of them are putting him into the game for the All-Stars against Barcelona as well. Yep. So I agree. He's been an outstanding player. I think Newcastle next season could be maybe a team to watch as well. And look, and Melbourne victory, obviously the Popovich effect almost clinched it the first season. He's done it almost everywhere he's gone. Yep. Popovich clinched a minor premiership, losing out by 1 point this season. I mean, look, we kind of, just by looking at the Melbourne victory team, you can already see how strong they were. Last season, very poor. Did they get the wooden spoon last season?
They would have been close.
I think they got something like that. And so Popovich to come in and change maybe the culture of the team. But one thing I think that kept them pushing and getting them over the line was the fans. The crowd turned up their numbers week in, week out.
It was, hey, look, we've been shouting them out for a while, right?
Yeah.
They're back. But not only are they back, they went to the Wellington City game cheering for Wellington.
Good on them.
That is awesome. Like, you're like, you know what? You don't have any fans across this way of the ditch.
We're
going to rock up for you.
How good does that?
And they did a good job, right?
They did a good job, bro.
So, but yeah, credit to
the
whole
away
club.
kit. The away kit, I was saying, yeah.
But credit to the credit to the whole club, because they've turned it around. They've done what they needed to do. And the most important thing is they got the right people in. Right, that's always been a struggle for a lot of clubs.
That's right. That's right. The fan base weren't too happy the last couple of seasons of how their club was run, the ownership, and who's given power and who's got control. I think Popovich has come in, and that could have been one of his things that he had a chat with. It's like,
maybe his mandates. If I'm coming in,
it's my, and we know Popovich. He's done out the Wanderers my way or the highway. Gets rid of 7 players. Maybe not the best idea at the Wanderers when he was there.
Yep.
But it looks like here it's kind of worked out. The recruitment, the players that he's brought in have just been superb.
Agostino, and Esperanovic, here and there for minutes, but still like a solid defender. Economides. They've stripped that team. The Perth Wanderers.
I'm telling you, bro. And that's the problem. Like, even with Perth, like we lost these players, didn't really replace them, and they're top quality players. But look, it is going to be a interesting final rounds. So the top 2 get the week off. That's
top 2 get the week off, and then they'll meet the winners of the respective games in week 1. But then it's a 2-leg semi-final series. So
like the old days, huh?
Yeah. So the winners of the respective finals. So we've got Western United versus Wellington. Thoughts, Borch?
Look, off the top of my head, I'm gonna back Western United. I think they just got the quality. Yep. Especially with Western United getting that loss against Adelaide, they would want to bounce back.
Yeah.
They would want to bounce back and get the result. But then again, if the Phoenix running on the fumes from the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? They could get over the line. The momentum could take him. It's going to be interesting. It's actually hard to pick who's going to win it, because it can go either way. But I'll go for Western United to take this one.
Yeah, look, I'm sort of very hard, like you said, very hard to pick. But I don't know. Something tells me no. I'm not going. I'm not feeling Wellington because I've seen the way more recently the way they've played against the Western Sydney Wanderers, and I don't think that style of play will beat Western United. I just think Western United will be pretty strong, so I'll take Western in this one as well. But the next one is try pick it, Adelaide versus Central Coast. You know, my heart tells me Central Coast, just purely with the way they've ridden this wave to end the season and the momentum that they've got. A little bit of a soft spot for Lockie and the guys in Central Coast as well. But Adelaide at home, you just, like, it could be the 88th minute, they'd be down 3-1, they'd pull two out of nowhere.
That's it. It's that home crowd. It's going to be that home crowd that could get them over the line.
Cooper's amazing stadium. Like, it's a great stadium. I've been there a couple of times, and you just don't know. You don't know how it's going to pan out. What do you think?
It is a hard one, bro. Lockie, Robbie. Lockie, Robbie. Where are we going? Look, I'm going to back the Mariners. I don't know why. I just like the way they've been playing the last couple of weeks, killing teams off. And I think just the confidence is oozing throughout the whole squad. A mixture of experience of the young players coming on, and when the young players come on, they're just too hot to handle. They're just too hard to handle, and they get on the score sheet. Who's the other player? Nkololo. Ben, is it Benny Nkololo?
Possibly.
Yeah, he's always coming on and being a problem.
Yeah, I know.
But he scored the last game. He scored the second goal. Just his pace, just his physicality might be too much, but then it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. What about you? Final thoughts there?
I'm sort of thinking it'll probably 90 minutes will end the draw. It'll go into extra time. I think they're going to push each other to the limit. But something tells me Central Coast. I think if it was pre the Cummings days, I probably would have went Adelaide to snatch it. I just think, like you said, they're going to kill the game off. Something massive is going to happen in this game with the youth that's on the pitch. It's you know what, it might be like one of the best finals games we'll see for a long time.
Can't wait for it, bro. Can't wait.
I reckon it'll be better than the Western Sydney Wanderers and Brisbane 5-4. I reckon it'll be better than that. It might be tied up, but it'll be better.
You never know. It could be like back in the day with the Mariners and Brisbane Raw. Eric Pantalu coming on in extra time. The two goals, the two headers there.
You just don't know. But look, it's been a good year. It's been a good season. We've had a fun ride along the way. Now we're into the finals. We'll still be doing all the coverage and everything with all the boys. But until that happens this weekend, we're going to have to stay tuned.
That's it.
Borch, thanks for being on the show.
No problem, Kev. Thanks for having me.
It's been a good one. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again.
Take it easy.